here, and looks like we are getting into the draft phase already here. Casually Reformed going to take away Wukong once again, so we'll see if it is as much of a solo lane focus. Mordekaiser kind of an auto ban here. We already talked to Wheelie about this. He said in no uncertain terms, Royal's not going to be playing Mordekaiser against them ever. So they're fine with taking that. Now, Dinsey, I'm not sure if you saw Royal on Mordekaiser, but this guy's really good on. He plays at, I think he's gold 3 or something, and he plays about what you'd expect for a gold 3 player, except on Mordekaiser, where he plays way higher level. So it is really cool to see him on it. And to all our viewers, I would definitely recommend you go back if you're Mordekaiser fans and go watch Royal on Mordekaiser in week 1 and 2. It is a joy to watch. But we actually do have the Alistar ban coming in for Casually Reformed here. And they don't want to deal with VirtualBoxs. Clearly, VirtualBoxs is very, very good on that champion. But once again, the Graves ban coming in. The Graves ban coming in now, and Team Solo Simp decides they're the ones to ban it. And they replaced a Nocturne ban with a Graves ban, and there you go. First pick, Nocturne. I think it could be Royal in mid on Nocturne there.
I really like seeing Nocturne picks right now in this meta because it's so strong in both mid and jungle. I'm really interested to see how this plays out. Obviously, they like doing these flex picks, judging from last game. But we are seeing a Sett pick for Team Solo Simp.
Hey, Dinsey, do you play Sett?
I think I might start playing Sett because he's pretty broken, man. Not gonna lie.
If you ever like watch me cast your games or cast Premier League games, every single game when I'm talking about the draft, I'll say, okay, are we going to see a Sett first pick? Because I think it's like the best first pick. I think it's the best blue side first pick in the entire game right now. And I think TSS going with it's really good. They also actually, they took the Soraka, and that, it could easily go top again, and you could take Sett mid or support or jungle. Like, that's what's so insane about Sett. But there's the Shen in answer, just in case it is the Sett going top, but Shen would struggle heavily against Soraka top. So if it is Blitzblades going onto that Soraka, Casually Reformed has already really hamstrung themselves in draft, because you're just talking about, 2 global presences with Soraka just being better in team fights. But Tahm Kench not banned. Senna is banned. So the Tahm Kench coming in. Still, teams with TSS, you just never know, because any of these 3 champions could potentially go into the top lane.
And any 3 could also be support.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, okay, so some insider information, not so insider information because it's just on OPGG, but VirtualBoxs has been playing Sett support pretty recently. I don't know, man. I mean, Tahm Kench, we have not seen a Tahm Kench anywhere but support at all in this league, and not in pro that I know of in this season. But who knows?
Tahm Kench can totally wreck tanks top lane.
Yeah, I will say from my solo queue experience, Tahm Kench is also another one of my least favorite lanes.
Oh, it's so awful to play against in top. There's a bunch of like diamond, high diamond, grandmaster, challenger one tricks of Tahm Kench, and they all play at top lane if they can, because it's like one of the best champions to do like an unranked to challenger climb, because you demoralize the top laner so hard it like bleeds into demoralizing the rest of the team. Like, it's so awful to play against. So yeah, who knows? Yeah, Sett could go support. Then you'd probably be seeing Soraka mid, but I would guess it's Soraka top, Sett mid, and that is potentially confirmed by the Olaf pick, because.
Is it
Olaf more likely to go jungle? But of course, it's definitely not confirmed. And of course, we still haven't seen any pick for Wheelie. So yeah, TSS once again throwing some crazy stuff at us, and who knows? Last 2 picks are going to come in from Casually Reformed. They did get the Nocturne, but even now, I'm doubting where the Nocturne is going to be going. And we're about to find out here, as Brand has been picked. There's the Galio, so that's likely going mid. And, you'd imagine it's Galio mid, Brand support, and Nocturne jungle. And yeah, there's the Blitzcrank. So that pretty much confirms that, except hang on a sec. So then
Brand ADC, baby.
So yeah, it's probably actually you're probably right, Darren. It's probably Brand Blitzcrank in the bot lane.
Yeah. Which is pretty toxic. I mean, you get the hook, the knock up, the stun from
brutal,
Brand. You're dead. Like it's over.
And Blitzcrank, of course, is the pick into Tahm Kench if it's going bot lane,
right?
Because it's the full counter to Tahm Kench. Now that's the Ryze, and so look at these teams.
Okay, so last game.
Single on either of these teams.
Last game we had a Morgana pick that ended up being a Leona pick. We haven't heard anything from our producers that anything has happened here.
Different.
But man, okay,
we have to analyze as if this is the draft.
Okay, yeah. What is Team Solo Simp? Wes, what?
Okay, I think we should just try and guess which roles these are going to be playing, and so I just have to consider for a bit. Dinsey, take your time. The spotlight's going to be on you, but
this is very important.
I think TSS is going Ryze mid, okay, so Ryze mid, and it's going to be Tahm Kench Sett bot, Olaf jungle, Soraka top.
Wow.
Dins, what do you think?
Wow.
I think
it could be Soraka Tahm Kench bot. I don't know.
It's just that Ryze kind of messes me.
I know that Ryze is like, what?
Oh, okay. How about Ryze top, Soraka mid, and then just whatever happens.
And then just whatever. That's it. Ryze top, Soraka mid. That's all I got.
I can't even say.
Actually, Ryze top is very interesting because it could be Sett mid. Oh man. Okay. So on Casually Reformed, it's Blitzcrank and Brand in the bot lane, Galio mid, Nocturne jungle, Shen top. I'm pretty sure that's it. I don't think you can go. It would have to be Shen in the jungle otherwise, unless they're absolutely mad and they're going Brand jungle. But I think it has to be Nocturne jungle, and therefore it has to be Galio mid and then Brand Blitz bottom probably.
I'm starting to think maybe Casually Reformed also doesn't know what Team Solo Simp is going. So maybe they're just planning on matching Galio wherever the Soraka or Ryze goes to have him against maybe something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You do want Galio, I mean, if you do manage to get the Galio into Soraka composition, I think that's great because Galio can shut down Soraka. Galio is so good in those early stages, which is kind of where you want to hit Soraka. But yeah, this draft is wild. Last game, we actually it was nice. We had flex picks, but we had a pretty standard, back to front team fights, 80 carries coming in, regular supports. No, this game, we have literally no 80 carries. We have no idea where any of these champions are going. And I think we're just going to have to go to a break while we mull this over and tear our hair out. So we'll be back in just a few minutes for our competitive integrity delay. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you soon. Welcome back to our epic mini-series of the Manitoba Esports League. I'm your host, Wes Rambo. We have the protagonist right in here, Dinsbag, coming in with the plot lines, coming in with the viewer draw, and we're going to put his name in the title next time for the Twitch stream. Just in case that will help any of you decide to watch. We do have an invade actually coming in from Casually Reformed. Also, neither of us were really correct about who's playing in what position here. We have Wheelie and VirtualBoxs with the Soraka Tahm Kench talk. There's the flash. Ooh. And Tahm Kench actually has to flash away, but that's actually, I would say that's definitely a win for the side of Zero Urge. First of all, he has that Hex flash, and second of all, Tahm Kench without flash is really, really vulnerable to the Blitzcrank now.
Man, I really wish that he had hit it, though, because that would have been more hype.
I know, right?
But absolutely. In solo queue, you could see that happen, and the Tahm Kench did get pulled. Of course, these guys are playing at a little bit higher level than at least what I see in solo queue often.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely. I think that because the Blitzcrank can now just hook in, especially at level 2, hook that Tahm Kench in and probably grab a kill.
Yeah. So this is a really interesting draft, and I love seeing that, but I'm worried about Casually Reformed's damage profile. We've seen this before. I believe we've even seen it in this league already, where Nocturne is the only pick in terms of attack damage threat on the side of Casually Reformed, and Nocturne will not cut it against the likes of Sett and Tahm Kench in the late game in terms of attack damage. So, you know, the other thing is the only real high damage carry you've got is Brand. Galio does a good amount of damage in the early game, but, you know, it is not on the level of something like a Brand or, you know, a Victor from last game. So I'm just worried about Casually Reformed's late game damage in general. I think that with the Ryze and the Sett, you know, plus the Soraka Olaf combo once again, I think TSS definitely has more late game insurance. And, you know, Casually Reformed, their team comp is so crazy, but I just don't know how they expect to win late game.
I feel like with Casually Reformed, they have a lot of globals, though. That's the thing.
That's true.
So they can do a lot of 1-3-1. Like, even without teleports, like, the Nocturne can ult into a fight, Shen can ult into a fight, Galio can ult into a fight.
Yeah.
So maybe they're gonna just try and, like, have that split push, have 3 lanes pushing at once, and then they have good engages with their ults, and then hope for Brand to just clean it up with a big ult.
Yeah, just go for those, you know, favorable, advantageous fights where you got 5v4s, 4v3s kind of thing. Yeah, I guess that makes sense, and that definitely could be what they're going for here. It's just going to be so difficult. Here's already, you can see the strength of Sett there. And once again, the junglers will meet at Scuttle Crab. This time, JaDe not having any assistance from his solo laners that quickly. The shield does come down, but Hypoconic, you can see those axes being spammed, and the E is back up again. First blood going into Hypoconic, but taking a lot of damage. Now you can see the strength of the Olaf, though, coming in a double kill. This is how you get Olaf ahead in the early game, and not as much of a rotation from Casually Reformed as TSS was able to do last game, and now Nocturne is set quite far behind here as Hypoconic gonna snowball off of that lead.
And that Nocturne, he was at like a third health, maybe like 40% health even going into that. He should have just backed off his, I mean, he did, but it seemed like he was kind of hovering for longer than he needed to. JaDe just needed to get the heck out of that, with or without help.
Yeah, absolutely right. And yeah, it's just so hard. If you give even an inch to Olaf with those constant axes, the cooldown, by the way, for new viewers, is refreshed if you pick up the axe where it lands. So you just keep being able to get that damage and get that slow, which is really strong in the early game. It's just so ridiculous as Olaf how much damage you can put out at level 3. So, you know, yeah, you just don't want to be in that position. Nocturne JaDe just needed to get out of there faster, exactly like you said. And there's the Hex Slash coming in. Soraka gets pulled, and will the Swallow come in? Yes, Wheelie does get eaten to safety there as VirtualBoxs does just manage to get in. And yeah, you got to pull Tahm Kench in that situation, even though it feels so counterintuitive to pull the tank. The Blitzcrank is picked so that you can get the Tahm Kench. And so if you're getting the Soraka, it's just like any other AD carry. You can be rescued. So here's Hypoconic actually maybe biting off more than he can chew here as 3v2 coming in. And yeah, Hypoconic does get shut down there. So the Galio getting that kill is a big deal. Now Wheelie not able to contribute at all to that fight. And this time the rotation from the TSS bot lane was too late. Now Royal is sitting on double buffs as well as a kill and with shutdown gold. So going to be going in a Revivination. You can see a good trade there, but actually Royal taking a lot of damage and having to run away. Lots of damage here, and will he be able to finish him off? No, Royal does just manage to get away, and very comfortable is Royal on these kind of bruisery AP mid laners. Of course, that Mordekaiser famously, but also, you know, the Galio very, very strong currently in the mid lane, I think. So good play there by Royal, and we'll be able to use those double buffs to oppress that lane a little bit more yet.
I want to talk about this bot lane real quick, and as we're looking at it, this Blitzcrank, you say that he wants to pull Tahm Kench, but Tahm Kench is paired with a Soraka, not an ADC. Yeah. So you have gray health and that toxic healing from Soraka. Yeah, I mean, like, I think I agree with you, but especially if the Soraka's low, right? If the Soraka's low, she can only do so much healing.
Yes.
But, man, just like if I was bot lane, I'd be so tilted right now.
This is the conceit of this lane. This is what you pick this lane for, and it's not. This isn't an invention of TSS. Soraka Tahm Kench is a thing, and the reason it works is exactly for this reason. If Soraka gets low, you get eaten by Tahm Kench. If Tahm Kench gets low, you get healed by Soraka, and you go back and forth around the merry-go-round of death in that bot lane. That's what's so difficult about it. And since they do have other ways to scale into the late game with damage, specifically the Ryze, you don't need an AD carry in that bot lane. So, we'll see how that plays out. And it's just, it is getting a little behind in farm. We mentioned before, Soraka is okay to get behind in farm. In fact, you expect it. But I will say Royal didn't manage to make much of getting those double buffs, didn't manage to get much of a lead. Ryze still kind of bullying him out there. Revivination doing a nice job getting a CS lead against Ryze here, even though Royal has much better stats from items. We'll see if a pull comes in here. They're deciding which target they want to go with, and they have no idea. Yeah, there's the chomp from VirtualBoxs, and it's just so frustrating to try and engage on this lane.
Yeah, I mean, really good patience from Zero Urge there, knowing that Wheelie could dodge that hook, just walking up and getting the knockup, but then, you can't...
Oh, here's a flash coming in from Sett, and Sean taken down. Really nice play by Blitzblades. That is the power of Sett. Yeah, this is why you pick it. And there's actually the pull coming in on to Tahm Kench. Damage going down, the heals coming out, and Grey Health going to be popped here. Yeah, VirtualBoxs does manage to get away, but a nice pull there coming in, and you can see that was a much more promising engagement than any have been on Soraka. It just feels inevitable. Okay, well, we can do as much damage as we want, unless if we burst her down in one hit, which we can't, then Soraka's just going to survive. So, you can see that Brand has got the makings potentially of a Morellonomicon already. It could be a first item Morellonomicon here into this ridiculous lane.
I was just going to ask that. I mean, I don't imagine that that's common.
Well, there's no mana provided there, so yeah, definitely not. Okay, actually a lot of... Grim actually down here and does get executed, luckily, but yeah, that passive burn still ticking down when he went under the tower. Now a big fight going to come in. A lot of damage already onto TSS, and Galio going to ult in. Looks like that might be the disengage they need. Still 4 members strong are TSS coming in, and the Ryze ultimate going to come forward. JaDe went the wrong way. The other 2 teammates leave him hanging, and JaDe just is the sacrificial lamb coming in here. They are going to use that to get the dragon. And Zero Urge here looking for some kind of miracle. Actually, Royal also waiting around. Oh, that was actually very, very close. Coming in from Royal, a really, really nice timing on that Q, but the TSS do secure it. So what comes forward from TSS, a good play by them. And Grim, really unfortunate that wasn't able to survive that tower dive, and that damage hadn't finished ticking by the time he went underneath the tower. Something you always got to look out for as Brand.
Yeah, someone who's played Brand a lot, way back in like season 4, season 5, as support. That you think that the damage over time ticks have gone away, and they haven't. You take more damage than you need to, for sure. Yeah,
Brand hasn't changed much since then, so definitely.
The weird thing is that I noticed is that he didn't back off when he noticed that the tower aggroed on him. Maybe didn't notice, or he thought he could outrun the second tower shot by just going straight across.
Or could take one more hit. I agree. I thought he had plenty of time to react there before continuing through, but apparently not. Here comes Zero Urge again for the engagement, but yeah, maybe a little bit of a poor reaction time coming in from Grim. And now the engage goes back towards the Brand, and yeah, this damage slowly ticking down, but there you go. VirtualBoxs is going to get Grim in the belly, and actually Wheelie now taking a lot of damage here, and Wheelie had to flash away. Wheelie will get away here, and now here comes Royal to finish the job. And will Royal be able to? The slow coming in, but JaDe finally, Wheelie is just on a mission here, but the double taunt coming in from Royal, and Wheelie having a lot of fun there. Now the knockup coming in from Royal, and yeah, nice turnaround there coming in from Casually Reformed. This is exactly what you were talking about, Dinsey, with, you know, the skirmishes and getting those numbers advantages can be Casually Reformed's way into this. Now Blitzblades with the fight onto Sean. You can see no chance for the Sett to fight this, for the Shen to fight this Sett 1v1. And yeah, based off of that, here comes TSS with a big wave here, but JaDe's still here to defend. So if he gets enough mana for a taunt, they could be in trouble. Nice plays there coming in from Casually Reformed. Wheelie did survive for a long time, but they had everybody in position there.
You know, I think the Brand played that really well too. After ulting, flashing into the alcove, letting the explosion from the Tahm Kench spread and get the third stack onto Wheelie. That was really well played. It just, he didn't quite finish it off, and the Soraka ended up flashing away.
Yep. Yeah, luckily JaDe is able to show up and clean that up. But yeah, exactly. Grim definitely adept on this Brand and able to use those abilities to their fullest extent. And also, yeah, nice rotations by the other members there. So potentially back in this game a little bit. Only 1,000 gold down, almost nothing here at this point in the game. And
the only thing I see with this game is that I think Sett is going to be a bit of a problem. Like if there's an engage going on here.
Yeah, ultimate coming in on Zero Urge does get slowed down, and it's a 3v2 here. So will Grim be able to do enough damage? The ult bouncing back and forth, and Olaf has taken a lot of damage, but not nearly enough. And Revivination was able to rotate as well. They're saying you're not the only ones with globals. Revivination did manage to get in there, and that's a 4v2 win coming in from TSS. Nice play by them, and they're going to be able to get a bunch of plates down on this turret. You can see Royal pushing in the mid lane, but definitely worthwhile for TSS.
Yeah, that's actually another thing. A good point is that TSS also has some pretty good globals with the Ryze.
They got 2 globals as well.
And the Tahm Kench. And I was going to say, like, if they are doing like a 1-3-1, trying to push all the lanes, like my good friend Rodov once said, Sett just wins every fight. Yeah. So if Shen tries to split push and they send Sett to match him, Sett's just going to win. And he's already ahead, so I think the Sett's going to be a big problem.
Oh, look at that ultimate. That is lovely coming in there from Blitzblades. A beautiful ultimate. Perfectly avoids the Royal ultimate coming in from the Galio. That is just sexy League of Legends right there. And yeah, it's like you say, Sett so many tools available to win fights, and also is going to provide more damage, which both of these teams are sort of lacking in terms of attack damage. So Sett definitely a far cry above the Shen there in that respect. So yeah, Blade of the Ruined King already completed there on Blitzblades against a very tanky team, going to be very effective, and definitely something that Casually Reformed will have to watch out for here.
And I think that is the mark of a good Sett player, just being able to get those good angles for your ult. That was really well played by Blitzblades.
Yeah, I think Rodolph would have been proud, as as we see. Now the dragon is going to spawn soon. Looks like, yeah, it already has spawned. That's going to be the Cloud Drake, so it will be either Mountain or Infernal for our soul. And the hook comes in. Now Tahm Kench is over the wall and might have to flash away here. No, VirtualBoxs is still too tanky for that. Grim still hasn't completed that, or isn't really anywhere near completing that Morellonomicon, and that is indeed what Grim is going to go for here. And Darren, you asked this before, and it isn't standard, definitely, to rush it, even against a Soraka team. Soraka in the bot lane changes that, but it's such a difficult item to finish. There's Olaf securing that dragon, no problem. It's a difficult item to finish. It's expensive to get that Oblivion Orb. But also, it doesn't provide any mana at all. Oh, Flash comes in, and actually a Flash hook, though, coming in from Revivination, and Revivination's going to go down. Zero Urge, beautiful play there. And the Flash was just pulled a little too early there, baited out by Royal. And that's the fear that Galio can strike into your heart in that mid lane. So much crowd control available, and so much damage, that you're flashing away from Galio all on his own. Never mind Blitzcrank being there. Now the Rift Herald going to push through, and they're going to get this second turret as well.
I think that also kind of comes down to a bit of reaction time. Like, if you noticed, after the Blitzcrank flashed, it took like the entire length of his hook to actually hit the Ryze. There was a lot of time for him to react, move left to right. I think as soon as he saw the Blitz flash, which he should have expected that Blitz is going to try and hook him, he should have been trying to move left or right to juke that out, because that is a lot easier to juke if it's taking the entire length of the pull.
Yeah, I agree. It was a little bit of a lack of mechanical prowess there coming in, because exactly as you say, that Blitz hook, you know, you've seen it, and if you play Blitz, it's happened to you. It's possible to dodge it, I'll just say that. So now there is going to be a gank coming in on Shen. Pretty tanky already, but they are going to go for the dive, it looks like. The flash coming through, and actually Blitzblades did miss that, but the ultimate coming down now. Actually, Shen, quite tanky here, and Blitzblades may have bitten off more than he can chew. The W coming in, but Blitzblades way on the other side. JaDe actually taking very low as well, but a nice play there coming in from Casually Reformed to defend against that gank, and they will manage to take down the monster that is the Sett. Maybe a little bit too far gone and too far in from that dive there. Olaf, this game obviously much stronger than last game, but still.
Yeah, I think they just kind of misplayed that dive a bit. Like, Sett missed his, I'm not sure which ability it is, but the one that
the
pulls
pull,
him in.
the W,
he
yeah.
missed
Or
that,
the
kinda,
Q, yeah.
Yeah, and then he also ulted away from his teammate, so that really kind of messed up the dive. I think they could have won that pretty easily if they just kind of played it a little better.
Yeah, I think so too. Also, there was an argument for once the Shen flashes, you just get out of there. Ryze now gets hooked up, but they're not really interested in fighting Revivination at this point. Still keeping the gold pretty even, are Casually Reformed, but not interested in an engagement. Like you said before, and we've been talking about it, Casually Reformed is looking for advantageous fights. They're looking to create man advantages. Now a lot of damage coming in onto the Brand, and Shen also taken low, but they will manage to get out of that. You can see Revivination already with that Seraph's Embrace completed is chunking these members out pretty heavily, and let's see if they're able to use this to take down that mid lane turret. Looks like they will have to back off as the wave is not in their favor. And we're a little bit of a standstill, a little bit of a lull here. We can see that the Bramble Vest already completed alongside the Sunfire Cape on the Shen. Going to be very effective and definitely contributed to surviving that dive against Blitzblades there, having only completed Blade of the Ruin King. So actually, Shen somewhat ahead in stats currently before Blitzblades goes to recall. Looks like that Trinity Force will be next. Meanwhile, we have Revivination with Seraph's Embrace, a very powerful item, but Galio with earlier power spikes coming in with that Proto Belt as well as a Haunting Guise. And now, I am not sure I would take Haunting Guise over Oblivion Orb on Galio in this situation. I think Liandry's is fine, but you're already building it on Brand, and I think that the heal reduction is much more important. Meanwhile, we also see Brand going for an early Ryze. I really don't like that. I think you need to rush MEL and Omicron against Soraka, and if not, you need to be rushing something better than Ryze. I just don't think that's the correct build at all.
Yeah, I guess he's really going for like the team play.
Yeah, utility. Yeah.
Yeah, they do have Grievous Wounds from Shen's Thorn Mail, so that doesn't really counter most of the healing though. Like that'll only work if they're all-inning Olaf or all-inning Sett. Well,
yeah, like exactly. If Ryze is getting healed up, he's not getting Grievous Wounds from the Bramble Vest. So
exactly.
Yeah, I think they need MEL and Omicron as soon as possible. Here's the engage though coming in, and a lot of healing you can see already. Soraka is so powerful, and still Ryze surviving. Now the ultimate coming in, and VirtualBoxs is going to be caught out here. But look at how long they're surviving. This fight is so ridiculous. Revivination finally manages to turn it around, and it looks like TSS is going to be able to win this fight, even with a huge engage coming in from Casually Reformed. They get 3, they get 4, and dude, Casually Reformed did not want that engagement. And you saw with the lack of marksmen on either team how silly these fights look with so little damage available to be maintained over the course of a fight. Now able to take the dragon and a turret at the same time, and yeah, that was this is the power of Soraka, and I'd venture to say if you had a Morellonomicon on Brand in that fight, you definitely could have secured at least one of those kills. It was just that healing that was so ridiculous, and we were literally just finishing talking about this. They focused the Ryze, but they have no grievous wounds to apply to the Ryze, and so the healing is at full power. It's just this is a straight up mistake in the build of Casually Reformed, and it might lose them this game.
I'm also thinking in that team fight, it probably came down to also the Soraka healing, but Casually Reformed wasn't really focusing the same target properly. They were splitting up a bit. Some of it may have come down to thinking someone was dead and then Soraka healed them up. But I did notice, like, there was when the Tahm Kench ulted in, 3 of them immediately went on the Tahm Kench, but then Sett went off to ult the Galio into the fight, and then some of them went on the Galio, and it was pretty hectic team fighting in Casually Reformed.
And that's the thing. I mean, focusing the Tahm Kench is all fine, except that Tahm Kench had already used the saving ability, the chomp there, and so now I can see why you want to focus the Tahm Kench, but if you need to do it, he's pretty tanky. You all have to do it. And you saw target focus was fine at the beginning, except they're fighting the Ryze, who is just constantly being topped up by the Soraka and finally being saved by the Tahm Kench. So, yeah, it's just, I agree, target focus was a bit of an issue there, but I just can't get over this Rylai's spy. It's just not what you need right now on Brand. You've got plenty of ways to engage. You don't need to be, slowing them down with an inefficient item, a stat inefficient item, when you could be getting that extra bit of damage and that bit of healing reduction it would take to actually win these fights. Now we do see a little bit of a preparation for Baron here, and we'll see if Casually Reformed fancy another fight. Meanwhile, our producers have informed us that Dragon Solar Bust have won game 1 against Loki Int, so it is 1 game away from elimination for Loki Int, as they would have had a bye next round, so no chance to get back into playoff contention. So we will be monitoring that situation closely as well.
Yeah, let's take a look at the CS numbers here. I mean, at this point, this Revivination on this Ryze. 189 to 141 on the Royal on Galio, and Revivination has used his ult so well in this game as well. Just a side note, but just getting kind of out farmed in every lane except for that bot lane. Yeah,
Revivination has the Morellonomicon that Casually Reformed should be buying in a situation where actually I don't even think Revivination should have bought it. But here comes the ultimate coming in, and actually Galio going to come in. Hypoconic does take down the jungler, and so now they've got to focus onto the carries. And actually Hypoconic looks like he might go down here. He's surviving so long, but VirtualBoxs has gone low as well. But huge shutdowns, double kill coming in from the Sett, and another kill. That's the triple kill coming in for Blitzblades. The ace coming in for TSS, and a little bit better, but you still don't have healing reduction. Casually Reformed, you're not going to win these fights, and the Baron is secured. Nocturne was focused down very effectively there after he went in, and they had the right idea. I think in that situation, they more or less played that team fight correctly. They don't have the resources to win a team fight right now. And now
they
that
got a really nice Brand ult there, it's spread to a lot of targets, getting a lot of explosions off, but they're just so far behind at this point, there's not a whole lot they can do.
Yeah, Brand doesn't have any damage. So, you can have the best ult in the world. It's not gonna kill them. I think that Casually Reformed should be kicking themselves here. Even a Leandries, which, by the way, is what Ryze should have bought, not Morellonomicon. But, that notwithstanding, you don't need to criticize Revivination too much, as he's doing just fine. But, yeah, Brand needs to go for damage in this situation because you are the only damage threat on the team. Nocturne with the Umbral Glaive and by the way, what even is the name of that enchantment, jungle enchantment, with the attack speed one?
Blood Razor, I think?
Blood Razor, yeah.
Like
so Nocturne has gone with Blood Razor and Umbral Glaive, which honestly, that is very odd to me. So I have no idea why he would go for that over Warrior, but then go into lethality. We'll leave that for our armchair analysts to decipher that particular build choice. But in any case, there's just isn't enough damage coming through for the side of Casually Reformed. The more I look at it, the more their builds don't seem good. I don't want to rag on them too hard, as I think TSS is doing a very nice job in this game, but Casually Reformed has made some nice plays as well. They just haven't built correctly, and now they have to go for a 50-50 on this dragon. They might not even get the chance here. Going in, and red team has secured it, so the Infernal Soul is going to go down. JaDe already dead, and the Soraka ultimate coming down, and yeah, this team fight is already over. It's just, there's no chance.
And 5v4 as well.
Yeah, it was already 5v4. Yeah. So Sett continuing to push the top lane, but that team fight was pretty much over before it even started. So even with, you know, a cool idea on the draft here, Casually Reformed has just been destroyed at every single turn. And it looks like TSS, you know, barring some absolute miracle, is definitely going up to tie Espresso Depresso for first place here after this game.
You know, is it just me, or are Ryze's arms like a little too long when he casts some of his abilities?
Is he like Dalsum in Street Fighter?
Yeah,
where, like whenever he punches, his arm goes all the way across the screen.
Look at this guy. His arms are really stretchy.
Yeah,
Mr. Fantastic.
I haven't noticed it, but I'm definitely going to be looking for it now. As we have Ryze on the screen. So you're saying with the auto attacks or just with the spells?
I think with the
now
spells,
this is all
like,
I'm watching.
When you EWQ, like, kind of go out.
Maybe
really
there's a bit of an elbow extension there. A little bit
He's
of
just dislocating his shoulder every time just to go out and he's sucking it back in. Yeah,
he does that thing where you bend your arm and some people can bend it past the point where your elbow is supposed to straighten out. Oh man, Ryze, the freak of nature. Coming through, and you know, I mean, I'd love to continue analyzing this game, but you know, it almost seems like this Ryze arm issue is more important at this point, because just what could Casually Reformed even do? They've gone with these weird builds that, you know, now.
I think honestly, even before the Baron fight,
look at Grimm's items. What are you doing, man? Why are you building Leandries?
Do you think he's just looking at MOBA Fire?
Right,
exactly.
This guy is on pro builds. Yeah, but on pro builds, they wouldn't go.
They don't
Leandries
really
first.
show like specific matchups. They just looks at the popular items and like,
he's like,
popular,
what?
Take it.
He went and Googled what items are good on brand, and it's like, well, go Ryle's, Leandries, and that's really great. It's like, okay, Ryle's and then Leandries. And yeah, like, come on, like,
think about that.
You should have had Morellonomicon 20 minutes ago.
when you're brand, like, if you're against Soraka, you don't have to build Morellos first, but that's only if like that healing reduction can be covered from somewhere else. And
exactly.
Literally, the only Grievous wounds they have is the one ignite on Blitzcrank and Thor Mail on Jet, and it's obviously
so actually
not enough.
It's just definitely not enough. Wheelie running away, keeps running away. They can't even kill one member of the team in that last fight. And this game has been over for a while, but it's definitely over now. That is going to be the end of the series, folks. 2-0 for TSS. They will move to tie Espresso Depresso for first place going into week 9. So congratulations to TSS for more or less building the right